Good vibes are on the way.
I love the feel-good stories.
Oh, there'll be sarcasm mixed in, but that just adds to her charm.
So great. I love listening.
Welcome to Aaron O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency.
Hi, welcome back to Aaron O'Malley's Feel Good Frequency. I'm Aaron. It's so wonderful to have you here. So I have had the pleasure of speaking with some of the most incredible humans, and the things I'm learning and the people that are explaining organizations that they've begun and why are just so inspiring. This guy, you may have seen him because he won CNN's Hero of the Year last year. Thousands of people from all over the world are nominated for this, and my guest won. And when you hear what he has been through and why he started the organization he did and the difference he's making, you'll totally understand why he did win this incredible honor given to him by Anderson Cooper, one of my faves. So here's the deal. There are so many people in our country who are fighting addiction, and many of them have dogs, and that's the only creature that's standing by them at this point because of ostracizing family and friends. And it's an awful, awful thing to be fighting. And lots of these people, they want help, but they don't want to lose their dog because that dog is the only family they have right now. And so this gentleman found a way to create an organization where their dogs are taken care of so they can go to rehab and take care of themselves. And it is a beautiful, beautiful kindness that is so needed and necessary in this country. And Stephen Knight started it. I hope you enjoy this interview as much as I loved speaking with him. So I'm here with Stephen Knight, somebody who I have wanted to speak with since I first heard about you and your mission and what you are doing. It's just so beautiful. You are the founder of Dogs Matter. I am a huge dog person, and you have such an amazing reason for starting all of this. Can you tell me a little bit about your backstory and what made you want to help people with their pups?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. This is a mission that's very personal, and that's why I'm very passionate about it. It all has to do with me and my own recovery. I've had decades of struggling as an addict and lost everything, and ended up finally at the age of 51 going to treatment and making that brave decision to, I need help. I need to figure some things out. And when I did it, it was great to be able to get clean and sober, but at the same time, around month 8, I started feeling a lot of my feelings and a lot of emptiness and kind of lack of purpose, and just kind of, it was really struggling. And then all of a sudden, I got a knock on the door where I was living at a sober living house, and a friend of mine had relapsed, and she had a dog named Jade, and she had Jade in her arms, and she was telling me how she relapsed and she had to go to treatment and nobody was there for her to take the dog. And would I take her down to the shelter to surrender the dog?
Oh,
And I thought to myself, wow, okay, first of all, I looked into Jade's eyes and we kind of locked eyes, and I knew right then that there was a connection. So I immediately said, let me take her and see how we do. And that moment really just kind of shifted my whole life in a way where I woke up with purpose, responsibility, unconditional love, all this emptiness I had because I had wrecked all my relationships. I had kind of started all over. I was still trying to figure out who I am. I had a lot of acceptance on myself being gay back in the 70s and 80s, back living in Texas, did a lot of trauma. So I was never comfortable in my own skin. And having this pet was like having the best treatment for me to continue my sobriety.
wow.
She really was a part of my healing, a part of my second chance. And I thought to myself, how many times has this happened where somebody that loves this dog so much, and sometimes it's the only relationship they have left, need to go to treatment, and then they have no place to put their dog. And the last thing you want to do, you have to give up your pet to be able to go into treatment. So I came up with the idea of Dogs Matter.
Oh, gosh, I love this so, so much. All because of Jade. And talk about giving you a purpose in a time when you really needed that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I believe in, a lot of the universe. I think that it was just like, I think that it was just the timing of it, and just I was praying for some kind of purpose, and you have to realize having decades of just being in this bubble of your addiction and uncomfortable in your own skin, and to be able to break through and all of a sudden have this recovery is about transformation, about accepting your authentic self and finding your authentic self
Hmm.
and living your authentic life. And to do that is you got to deal with your trauma, you got to deal with all the wrongs that you did. And it's a really, I mean, that's why there's a lot of relapses, and there's a lot of
Hmm.
people that don't make it. And you hear that, they overdosed or they passed away because of their addiction. And it's the hardest thing to do. But however, having a pet by your side, I'm finding out makes a big difference.
Absolutely. It so does. And that's something I never, ever thought of before. But like you said, there are so many people who have an addiction that really have, because of the addiction, kind of ostracized their family, their friends. They've ruined relationships over it. And that pet is the one constant, the one unconditional love that they have, that they're getting right, that's always there for them. It's not judging them. And so to finally have, and I love that you use this word brave, it is so brave to seek treatment and to put yourself first. It's just so brave to do, and to finally get that help. But then to have to give up the one constant you've had, how heartbreaking and awful. And so to come up with an organization that makes sure that your pup is safe while you are doing something for yourself. And I love that you had this quote that said, "We take care of your best friend while you take care of yourself."
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
beautiful.
To see them go and take care of themselves and, after treatment and be able to get their dog back is everything, really. I mean, it's unbelievable to see the bond. It's about the human animal bond that is so strong. And I mean, one of the things that my mission is to formalize what we always talk about. Oh yeah, dogs are good for this, and oh yeah, dogs. Of course, we know they're way better than humans.
Oh, yes.
They're smarter, and they can do things that we can never do, right? But I
Yes.
think in some cases where there is therapy dogs or whatever, but I think each of our dogs are our own therapy dogs. I'll be honest, when I got Jade, she was so much part of my healing that after having her for 5 years, this is the God honest truth, is that I was able to get off my antidepressants, my anxiety medication. I'd been, struggling with mental health issues since in my 20s, and having her, I did it really slowly with the doctor and what the right way, but I got off every mental health medication.
Wow.
She's my antidepressant. She is my she is my my anxiety medicine. And that's been I've been sober for 14 years, and I've been off my antidepressants and all their medications for 5 years.
Congratulations on the 14 years. And that's really remarkable that your pup has given you such strength to really do it the right way, and find your way and your comfort in your own skin. That is the most remarkable achievement. I love
Mhm.
that for you.
I was looking for you. Want to say hi to Jade?
Yes, I'd love to.
Here's what we call the OG of Dogs Matter.
Oh, what a sweetheart. What kind of mix is that pup?
So she is a cross between she's very much a mutt, but she's got a lot of Maltese and Dachshund in her. If you see her wet, she looks like a Dachshund. So I call her a Maltini.
I like
And
that.
that's what kind of dog. She's a Maltini, a weenie dog, and a Maltese. And
That's
anyway,
great.
so she is about to turn 18 years old.
Wow.
She was 3 when I got her, so I've had her for almost 15 years. Yeah, she goes to work with me. She's traveled with me. She's been on some shows with me. She went to CNN New York with me. We did the
Oh, I saw her. So wait, you officially made this a nonprofit. Was it 2015?
2015. Yeah. So I mean, I got the idea. How often does that happen? And it happens quite a bit. And then I thought, well, I'd love to volunteer somewhere where I could help. And I thought there's got to be a program that does this. And I did some research, and there's absolutely nothing out there. And so I thought, well, why not give it a try? And I have had, my background career is nonprofits and social services, so I didn't know that part of it, but I knew nothing about dogs. Jade was my very first dog I've ever had.
Oh, no way. Oh
It's
my gosh.
like from being a kid, family dogs and stuff. Yeah, I never ever had a dog, and because my life just wasn't like fit for one, and probably felt like I didn't deserve one. So I didn't know a whole lot about dogs, and that was kind of the only thing. But however, I thought, you know what? As many reasons why I probably shouldn't have started, the main reason why I did it because I knew it needed to be done.
Yes.
You know,
What a need. This is groundbreaking and it is so necessary. When I first read about your organization, I went, oh my gosh, how is there not something like this everywhere? What a painful thing to have to say goodbye to a pet while you're trying to take care of yourself in the hopes that you can see that pet. That should never happen. There's enough reasons why people have to not put themselves first and not get the help that they need. But to know that when they are done and they're trying to get their life back, that their pet is not going to be there, that's the worst of the pain. I can't imagine that.
I mean, having Jade now, because I didn't have a dog when I was in my addiction, and having Jade now, and even if something happened to me and gotten sick or whatever, and to make the decision, I know that for me, I don't know if I could have. I would go to treatment. So a lot of people won't go to treatment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they won't give up their dog.
Right.
And so what happens is they get worse, and eventually they do lose their dog, and that dog probably ends up in a shelter, which is, we know what happens there after a while. And so, it's just been such a solution in so many ways. We're actually allowing space in a shelter. These dogs don't have to go to the shelter, and that we're giving them a second chance, to stay with their family. So after I got the idea and started it, at first I thought, well, I'll do a few dogs a year. Part of recovery is, helping others, and what a great way to help another addict or alcoholic is to take care of their dog. And I had a small little house in a pretty big backyard, and I thought, well, I'll just do a few dogs a year. And the first year, I think we did about 20. I think I did probably 18 of those dogs.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I had dogs in and out of my house the whole time, and then I was just like, I need help. Yeah. I mean, a quick story is that there's one point where I had 8 dogs at one point. Yeah, and it got too much where it wasn't my fault. But again, I didn't know a whole lot of dogs. I just always saw these videos of all these people that could walk out into this pasture and all these dogs run and they're all getting along and it looks so great, and that's not always the story.
Right. Like people, they don't always all love each other.
No. And then I had a bunch of dogs with me, and because it's hard for me to say no. And I remember one time that which I shouldn't have done. I was playing with them, and it wasn't their fault, but I was playing with them. But they kind of started fighting over a toy, and these 2 dogs got into it, and I was trying to separate them, and all of a sudden my hand got involved, and I got not just bit, but part of my pinky finger got bit off.
Oh my gosh! Oh wow! Woo!
But it's not funny anymore. But it's. I mean, you have to laugh now. But it was the kind of my aha moment. Is like, I need help. Even my friends and family set me down saying, Steven, it's almost like I was also creating my own addiction to this, right? It's but it was kind of a moment to sit down and go, okay, I really need help, and I need to really formalize this more and be able to get some help. And I did. Started getting more fosters, and we started getting recognition, so started getting fosters, and it ended up being a lot easier when I got help. And now I only have 4 dogs, right?
Oh, okay. That's way more manageable than 8, which turned into 20. God bless you. So how did you find the fosters? Because obviously you're starting and you have all these dogs yourself. And did you just reach out to friends, or how did you find all these people that now are helping you all the time?
Well, it just started with a lot of friends and just, anybody I could, but I really tapped into the recovery community, where like I'd go to 12-step meetings and talk to people about like, hey, I got this program and if you want to be a service, I got these dogs. And, and then we got a little bit of recognition on the news and stuff. And so we set up a website where people could, put an application in. We start off with just a few a year. We probably have over 150 fosters.
Oh my gosh.
Not all are active, but pretty good. But we also serve about 250 dogs in our foster programs, and then we work on another 150 dogs with another program that we call Positive Recovery, where we can actually work with the client and the pet and try to keep them together to go to treatment.
That's lovely.
Yeah. So very few treatment centers that do. They're actually getting more because I've been talking to treatment centers, and they're kind of allowing it more and more now. And the same thing with sober living. So we'll pay for their insurance premium for 3 months to be able to go to treatment and with their pet if they allow the pet. And then the great thing about it is that everybody that comes into our program, a lot of times after the reunion and get the dog back, you think that, okay, we're done, but we're not. It's just actually begin. When you get out of treatment, it's just, you're kind of safe in treatment. The hard work begins afterwards. Now, thank God you have your pet back if possible, but then you have to kind of, look at it like, what about budget? What about meeting all this time management, working, time for the dog? So we have this aftercare program where each of them are assigned a peer recovery coach. Somebody's in recovery that's been there. They help guide them, and they're also trained for the pet as well. So we stay with them for the 12 months through the first year of sobriety. And we're finding that our success rate compared to the national average of people staying sober the first years, ours is like 50% higher.
Whoa, that's huge.
Yeah.
I love that you follow them too up to 12 months because that makes such a difference, and that gives them a whole different goal too. Like not only do I want to be sober for myself, but also to make sure that I stay with my dog. And I would think that there's a part of them that also takes pride in being sober and staying sober and showing you like I was worth it. I was worth you helping my dog and helping me, and I'm going to do everything I can to live this life now. And I just, wow, that's something to be so proud of.
Yeah. We have a very well-oiled machine program that kind of is very wraparound. It's not just about, we'll take care of your dog for a little bit. It's about, it's kind of like when you enter our program, you enter our Dogs Matter family, and you stay our family,
Yeah.
And we've done, like I said, the first year we did about 20 dogs, and now 10 years later, we have done about 2,800.
That is amazing.
And with the fact is that we still have to continue to turn away people because we don't have enough fosters. We don't have the means sometimes to be able to do it. So the need is still way bigger than we are.
To think about the fact that behind every dog you're helping is a person who is getting their life back.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Yeah.
And it's so incredible that you have been recognized nationally, actually internationally, because I know pretty much anybody that is doing something wonderful can be nominated for CNN's Hero of the Year. Not only were you nominated and a finalist, but you won last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, I love that so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's been quite a journey, and it's been life-changing. And to do, I mean, because, we don't do this to like, oh, I'm going to try to get an award. We just kind of do it. We kind of keep our, focus on day-to-day stuff and to be recognized. And I love that they have CNN Heroes. It's really the most amazing program. And because they do recognize like ordinary people doing extraordinary things is kind of their motto. I mean, what they introduce us to is a lot more opportunities and a lot more funding and a lot more ability to grow a program. So it's been a blessing to be able to, like you said, not just be one of the top 5, but win it and be able to like get the recognition that I've gotten because, it's just like taking us to a whole new level.
I saw you with Anderson Cooper and I'm like, that's my man. I love that guy. Look at him.
Yeah. And he was so authentic and he's so sweet. And we were backstage doing selfies and he loved Jade. It was such a great experience. That was like just about almost a year ago. So it's been this whirlwind of just like, opportunities. And I just telling, I did a story about a few months afterwards. I felt like I got crowned like Miss America.
It must have felt like that because wow.
Because your life kind of changed, and then immediately you go around to all these different meetings and opportunities and shows and interviews, and so it's been a lot of fun.
And what excellent recognition too. I know that it comes with a prize, which is obviously a donation to help the organization, which that in and of itself is such a gift. But then the media and the publicity that comes with it to show people this is what I'm doing and what I've been doing for 10 years. And there's so much more that you want to do, I know, with it.
Oh. We've just begun, I kind of feel like just begun. It's, I think I gotta go slow, but our next big, huge adventure, and because of kind of the recognition we got, I think we're ready, is that we're going to look for a facility to open up. Not just going to be a facility, it's going to be a state of the art. Nobody's done this before because my whole thing is like I come from background of social services, and you have animal services and you have human services all spread out, and it's hard to kind of navigate. I'm going to take it, we're going to put it under one roof, and part of it's going to be animal services, and the other part is going to be the human services, where you can come in and the dog can go to one side and get all the things that they need. The human can come to it's going to be even more than just addiction. If you're homeless or if you have mental illness or domestic violence, we'll have case managers and counselors and people to guide you, so you're not going to this place and having to like tie your dog to a post at the bus stop while you go try to get help.
Right.
You can bring your dog in. We'll have temporary boarding places you can bring the dog, and the key is to keep the human animal bond and provide these wonderful services that's going to address the whole person and the dog itself. It's going to be like community center too, where we're going to have 12-step meetings where you can bring your dog, and you know, it's a coffee shop, and we're going to have job training for our clients so they can be groomers or vet techs, and it's going to be amazing.
This is huge. Do you have a date that you're aiming for to open and start?
Right, we are just at the point of we're starting the capital campaign in 2026. We just got our renderings. I'll maybe I come back. I'll share them with you. But in 2026, we're going to start the capital campaign. So however long it takes to raise the money, so that's up to listeners and people. But I think that people will hear this and they'll want to build this place, because I think that it will be, nobody's done it before.
Right. I've never heard of anything like it. Wow.
Yeah. And, you know, so many people are on the streets and they're with their dog, or they're in a domestic violence situation with their dog. And to know that, and a lot of them, if they have to go to a shelter, they have to go here, they have to go there, they don't have any place to bring their dog. They only let you bring your dog in to the, you know, whatever place it is. So we're going to say, bring your dog in, let us do an assessment, and let us navigate you to getting you both healthy.
What a smart idea, and what a needed idea. I know I've seen that Purina, I believe it is working with domestic violence shelters to try to make sure that dogs can come with people that need to get out of a situation, because just like what you created, a dog becomes a family member, and you don't want to have to put the dog with a shelter. That's just the worst decision to have to make. And so I'm so thankful that you're also trying to find a way to keep everybody together and make sure that they get the treatment and the help that they need, whatever that looks like. I love that.
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And I know you said that you want Dogs Matter to be a nationwide kind of thing. What has to happen for that to go to different cities and states? Because it's so smart and it's such a great idea. How do you see that progressing?
But the other thing that's happening in 2026, we are going to be opening up services in Los Angeles.
Yay!
Yeah. Part of the winning CNN Heroes, it introduced me to a lot of people, but one of the winner from 2023 was Dr. Kwan from the Project Street Vet. I don't know if you saw him.
I did see him, yes.
You know, and I saw his story, and thought, he and I need to meet. Maybe we could do some things together. So sure enough, we met. We hit it off. He's a wonderful person. We're going to partnership with them, and we're going to go out in the streets with their outreach, whether, you know, helping with the dog. And we're going to be talking to the owners and seeing if we can maybe help them with the issue of why they're on the streets.
Right.
And we're going to start a partnership in 2026. And be in Los Angeles. So we're going to try to figure out the model program to do it, to replicate it. All you need is really foster families, a couple of staff people, you know, the resources, like in a community. You know, you have people that can help us with the vet services, like Project Street Vet, people to foster, people to help donate, you know, supplies for the dogs. And I've lived in Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is very much community oriented. They got a lot of great services there. So I think it's a great place to kind of figure things out, how to take it national.
Oh, good. I hope that is super successful, which I'm sure it will be, because both of you are incredible humans. And I love that you have both been recognized by CNN and your heroes, because you truly are. And that program that they do, it really, like you said, nobody ever starts something to try to get on the heroes of CNN. But wow, it really does shine such a light on people that are making the world a better place.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And it brings people together. I mean, I would have never, I knew about Dr. Kwan and I saw him and I was like, before I was even nominated or anything, and I was just like, I thought, wow, what a great program. I'd love to try to get a hold of him. And then they put us together and it's just such a meant to be. For people that don't know, they literally, their mission is to go out on Skid Row and go out to the homeless encampments and to without judgment, without anything more than wanting to help get the dog healthy and get them vaccinations and check them out, making sure maybe spay and neuter if we can. It's their sole purpose is to keep the human and the animal together, but also keep them healthy. So we're going to kind of, and it's a more perfect fit. So we're going to kind of go in and do some outreach about like when they're ready to maybe get off the streets. Or we went there last summer to do a couple outreaches, and we were already like, wow. There's a lot of people like, yes, I would love to be able to go to treatment, but I don't have any place to put my dog. So it took us about 5 minutes to realize that we're needed out there.
5 minutes. I'm so excited that you guys are doing that, especially together. So do you have a favorite reunion story? But you've had so many, like you said, thousands of people and dogs you have helped. Is there one that just stands out in your mind? Because everyone that I would see, I would cry at. I know I would cry at, even if I didn't know the people or the dog, just seeing them back together. Is there one that stands out for you?
Yeah, I think, well, there's so many, and it's hard to pick one because there's so many. But I think the one that probably I got closest to, or just had the biggest effect on me, was, and he was even featured in our video with the Scene and Heroes, is a client artist named Egan and his dog named Remy. And part of our priorities is Egan was a hardcore, got arrested several times, about to die from his addiction. He was opioids, fentanyl, hardcore addict, and got in some trouble and was ready to get some help. And the only thing that was keeping him from doing it was a place for Remy to go to. And he wrote me this letter, and it just, I cried when I read it. It was about like, Remy is my son. I'd known him since he was a puppy. I'd go every day until I could adopt him. After a few weeks of it, I went every day to see him. And then at 12 weeks, I was able to bring him home with me. And I don't know what I'd do without him, but he was also knowing that he was going to die himself. Every day I was playing Russian roulette when you're on a drug like that.
Yeah.
And he's just like begging. It's like, please, please help me and Remy so I can go to treatment and I want to change my life. And so I read that and I immediately reached out to them and I talked to them. And we have to verify everything. We're going to go to treatment and, make sure. And they sign a contract and they give us the rights of the dog and they're committed. I'm like, you got to be ready, because if you run off, it's going to be hard to give your dog back. But he was so ready and we got Remy and he was so grateful. And when I met him, we just had a long talk and got him the treatment, and then he did so well. And after 90 days, to do that reunion was just, Remy was just like, they were both just so happy to see each other. And then, he stayed in our aftercare program, and he just celebrated a year and a half sober.
Oh, God, is that wonderful. Oh my gosh, I love that story.
Yeah. He's got a full-time job. He got married. Now, Remy's got a girlfriend because his wife had a dog, so it's like one big happy family. But it's that kind of story that makes it just so amazing. And then on the flip side, it's a hard job too because not everybody makes it. 70% of the time the dogs go back, and then 20% more the owner realizes, which is a very brave decision too, that they don't have a pathway or their life's going to be too busy and the dog deserves better. So we'll rehome them. And then 10% of the time, it's a better place for the dog to be rehomed. So those things are really, really difficult to do. But when you get a story like, Remy and Egan, and keeps you going.
Oh, is that beautiful? That put me in tears. Oh my gosh. So you have on your website, there's so much information there. It's so well done. You have stories of rescues and of the people being reunited. You have foster testimonials, which are really powerful. I love that you have that up there too, because you can't do it without the fosters. And these people really are making such a difference. So I love that you honor them there as well. And you have, I know, I thought this was so cute. You do fundraisers a lot. And there's one coming up December 7th, I think, where you're going to a movie theater. I love this. And it's A Dog's Purpose. Is that the right movie? Yes, A Dog's Purpose. And all the money raised is going to go to you. So you really do have just out of the box, unique
Yeah.
fundraisers too.
Yeah, it's the community. It's a recovery community because they loved what they do, and they reached out and said, let's do a fundraiser together. We want to do this." And when we talked about it, it's like, what a fun day to be able to spend the day watching, which is Doc's Purpose. I've never seen it. It's such a great movie.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna have raffle, and Jade's gonna be dressed up as Santa Claus, and we'll take holiday pictures and just raise a little bit of money, and just be part of the community and have some sober fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So important. So important. I hope you have such a huge turnout. And the website is dogsmatter and then the number 2.org, right?
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, and also please follow us on Instagram, Dogs Matter 2, and Facebook. If you want to see every week, at least we'll have one reunion video, and they're pretty amazing. If you wanna see the heart and soul of it, follow us and we're on TikTok too. We're on all of them.
Okay.
And we have some fun videos on TikTok, and we'd love to get more followers and be able to spread the word. And actually, anybody that's listening and that's in we're in Dallas, Fort Worth, that because there's nobody doing this, we serve the whole state, which is like a country in Texas.
Whew, yes, I agree.
Huge, And so, if anybody's in the state of Texas that would be interested in fostering, please go to our website and fill out an application, and we would talk to you in a second and hook you up with and it's not just about like, oh, you're going to be fostering a dog. You become part of the owner's story too. You become part of the journey. A lot of people say, oh, well, I can't foster because I get too attached and I don't know the dogs, and then I have to give the dog up. And it's like, but you know what? We're different because you don't have to give the dog goes back to their human.
Yeah.
And when they see the reunion video of it and they become part of the story of it, whatever, it's such a different experience of a regular. I'm not saying regular. Fostering is great. Any kind of fostering is like amazing, but it's hard because you don't know really where the pet's going to go.
Right.
But for us, it's a little bit different because you don't have to try to get it adopted. You don't have to do anything more but open up your doors and have a loving home and a loving heart. And if you have that, you could save lives.
Yes, you're helping somebody get their life back. That is the most powerful gift.
You're saving 2 lives.
Yeah. And one of the things that you said too, and I love this quote, the opposite of addiction is connection.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Because in our addiction, this is firsthand experience, is that you become isolated, you're guarded, it's your world is in a little bubble. You're so disconnected, even with your own self, right? It's a disease of the brain, and your brain is just wired to want to stay in your addiction and tell you you're not worth anything more than being an addict. Or for me, I was a felon too. I got arrested. I've been in jail. I've been in all of that. And so you just get so disconnected. And then recovery is that, that's why it's so important to have a recovery program, because it's all about meeting people that are like you and having support and having a tribe and being able to connect. And the most important thing is that you can get that connection with your pet as well.
It's so important. If you could go back 15, 20 years and talk to yourself, what would you say?
It's a good question. I would say don't give up. And I would say you've got to look at yourself, and you need to fight for yourself. You need to stop apologizing for who you are and practice acceptance and be proud and stand in your truth and deal with your past and deal with your, trauma. I had a lot of trauma growing up. And if you do those things, that your life will become beyond your wildest dreams.
I love that. And I love that you helped yourself and that you are here because you're such a gift. Honestly, you are a hero.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm so glad you exist. So thank you for all of the lives, furry and human, that you have helped and made a difference for. You really are making the world a better place.
Well, I appreciate that. It's, to think about where I was 14 years ago, living out of my car, wanting to not even exist, to having the life that I get to wake up every morning first and have Jade in my face, but to be able to be responsible and be able to give and help others. I'm blessed. I'm blessed, and I'm honored to do it.
We're lucky and very blessed to have you. And I'm so excited that I got a chance to just spend some time with you, because just reading about you, you just have such an energy, and it exists in real life when you talk to you too. The passion, the best organizations, the people that I've talked to are those who have really gone through something and then wanted to make a difference because of it, wanted to help others, wanted to make a mark of, you know what, there's going to be a purpose to why I had to go through whatever I went through. And man, you are a shining example of that.
Appreciate that.
You are. You are. I hope you're so proud of yourself. I hope you give yourself grace and time to just like sit with yourself and realize how far you've come because the world needs you.
I appreciate that. And like I said, and I, I'm an older person. I'm 65 years old, but I feel like that I've just begun. I feel like a kid. I feel like I'm 14. So 14 years of sobriety. I feel like a kid, and I think that as long as I'm healthy, I have so much I want to do, and I want to continue to build what I have, but also just reach out to people that are in need and have a pet with them, and never ever have to have them give up that pet to get healthy again.
Oh, God bless you. You keep doing what you're doing because you really are making a huge difference. And I will definitely be checking in with you in the future because I can't wait to see all the great things you're going to do.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated on our big, our capital campaign and our facility.
There he is, your 2024 CNN Hero of the Year, Stephen Knight. I'm so proud of him and everything he has accomplished. He's such a wonderful human. There needs to be more Stevens in this world. I'm so thankful that he fought through what he had to go through to get to the other side to help others because he is doing that every single day in such a beautiful way. And I hope if you are struggling or you know someone who is, that he provides a beacon of hope that you too can turn it around and your life isn't over. You may have a purpose that you don't even know about yet, just like he did. You're needed. The world needs you. Once again, his website, if you want to check it out, it's Dogs Matter 2, the number 2. So dogsmatter2.org is the website, and Dogs Matter 2, you can find him on all social media platforms. Thank you again for being here and joining me. If you know somebody who would be terrific on the Feel Good Frequency, please tell me about them. It's AaronO'Malley'sFrequency.com. That is the website, easiest place to find me, AaronO'Malley'sFrequency.com. Thank you. Have a wonderful week. Bye.